at a loan closing that I recently did, I sat across the table from a fairly young, relative to me especially, young woman who was refinancing her house, and she was pulling every bit of equity out to pay off debt that had been acquired during a relationship. Much of it was by the man that she was with, and all of the things that he wanted and needed and felt entitled to, but her credit was better than his. So it went on cards in her name because he couldn't get them. He didn't own a house. He had lived with her. He lived with her children. And he proceeded to rack up astronomical debt on her cards. And she, according to our conversation, which was very much outside of what we were there for, she was just frustrated and venting. So in this process, she got saddled with a whole bunch of debt. And when push came to shove, he left, and all of this debt sitting on her credit cards was hers. It didn't matter that he took the items that were purchased or that they were just useless to begin with, really, but they cost a lot of money, once things were added up. She got saddled with a debt, and she needed to use her house to buy her way out of horrible, horrible, crushing levels of interest rate debt. So now she was sitting there saying, I wish somebody had taught me. I wish somebody had told me. It wasn't discussed in her family. She grew up in, from what it sounds like, a relatively unstable kind of environment anyway. There were fraud issues that had gone on. There were just all kinds of things. And she simply didn't know any better. And now, as a mom of like probably a 10-year-old, 12-year-old, and maybe a 15-year-old, she was having to figure out how to dig out of this gigantic hole that she had partially dug, but she had also allowed somebody else to throw in a shovel or two and just keep digging and saddle her with debt that she really didn't know how to handle.